Thank you, Phyllis. That was just beautiful this morning. Good morning. My name is Dan, and I'll be your service leader today. Welcome to the Unity of Bloomington. At Unity, we offer practical spiritual teachings that empower abundant and meaningful living. We are a center for spiritual growth, and we provide inspiration, tools, and practices that support people on their path of spiritual growth. We also extend a special welcome to those of you who are joining us today online. If you'd like to find out more about us or to receive our newsletter, we invite you to visit our website at unityofbloomington.org. You can also subscribe to our newsletter while you are visiting our website, and that way you'll be able to keep up with a lot of happenings at Unity. Now, I know I didn't plan this, but sometimes synchronicity happens, and I matched the flowers today. So we had to get that right out there. So please join me and us in joining and combining our voices in joyful song.
And we invite you to stand so you can move around. I see joy. Goodness surrounding me. I see love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I see happiness. I see freedom. I see the beauty that lives in me. I see perfection in what life brings. I see God in everything. I feel joy. I feel peace. I feel goodness surrounding me. I feel love in every breath I breathe. I feel God in everything. I feel happiness. I feel freedom. I feel the beauty that lives in me. I feel perfection in what life brings. I feel God in everything. I know joy. I know peace. I know goodness surrounding me. I know love in every breath I breathe. I know God in everything. I know happiness. I know freedom. I know the beauty that lives in me. I know perfection in what life brings. I know God in everything. I know God's in everything. God is the source of all I see.
God is the source of all I see.
God is the source in me.
God is the source in me.
God is the light in which I'm seeing.
God is the light in which I'm seeing.
God is the light in me.
God is the light in me.
God is the mind that I am thinking.
God is the mind that I am thinking.
God is the mind in me.
God is the mind in me.
God is the source and God is the light.
God is the source and God is the light.
God is the mind in me.
God is the mind in me.
God is the source of all I see.
God is the source of all I see.
God is the mind in me.
God is the source in me.
God is the light in which I'm seeing.
God is the light in which I'm seeing.
God is the light in me.
God is the light in me.
God is the mind that I am thinking.
God is the mind that I am thinking.
God is the mind in me.
God is the mind in me.
God is the source and God is the light.
God is the source and God is the light.
God is the mind in me.
God is the mind in me. Thank you. Thank you. You may be seated.
Oh, why don't we say our
right.
statement of being
Thank you.
first?
I'm jumping around here. I'm losing my place. Please join me in affirming our statement of being. Together, there's only one presence and one power in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. This power expresses life, love, wisdom, and abundance through me. In it I live and move and have my being. Now, please be seated. Thank you, Ginger. One way we empower abundant living and meaningful living is by practicing and living our 5 basic principles. I'll state the principle and invite you to respond with the affirmation. God is absolute good, everywhere present.
God is.
We have a spark of divinity within us, the Christ Spirit within. Our very essence is of God, and therefore we are also inherently good.
I am.
We create our experience of life by the activity of our thinking. Everything in the manifest realm has its beginning in thought. Prayer is creative thinking that heightens the connection with God-mind and therefore brings forth wisdom, wholeness, prosperity, and everything good.
I pray.
Through thought, words, and action, we live in the truth we know. I now invite Ginger Curry up for our moment with the children.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that.
welcome.
Hi, Ella. How are you? You want to sit with me? How are you doing? Good. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. So, I went on a trip. I just got back on Thursday. And one of the things that I did is I got to meet a new friend. I'll pass this around later, but it's me holding a baby alligator.
All right.
Because we stopped in New Orleans. You have family in New Orleans, don't you?
My grandma.
Your grandma. Have you ever seen an alligator? Yeah.
I think I saw one. Wait, I don't think. Wait, I did see one at the zoo.
At the zoo. Well, maybe next time you go to New Orleans, you can do a swamp tour. They're really fun. Yeah. So your mom's actually shaking her head on that suggestion. So now that is probably a mama or a papa alligator. Now, I wouldn't recommend holding one of those because it's not in their nature, you know?
Plan to hold one either.
Okay, but see this one, now, look at that one. That one's a baby, and we can hold that one. And they wouldn't have, like the captain of the boat wouldn't have allowed us to hold it because he didn't even try to bite my finger or anything, and then I just took my thumb, I was holding him, and I took my thumb, and I just massaged the back of its neck, and just went like this. Like it really liked it. So, here, let me show some of the adults. Y'all can just pass this around. But so we're talking about beauty this week. And sometimes in our lives, we're going to come across a situation where things around us might not look so beautiful. Like the first picture that I showed her was of the 2 alligators that were actually in the water. And they were not babies. They were big alligators. And we want to admire them from afar. But one of the things that we try to do at Unity is to find these in every situation that we find ourselves, even if it might be scary or uncomfortable, to pick out that part of it which is beautiful. So it's easy when I show you a little baby alligator to go, yeah, that's cute. I can see the beauty in that, right? But when you see a grown-up alligator, you're going, I don't know about that. But there is beauty in there because there's life in there, and there's energy in that experience. So because I was very excited that I got to hold it. There were people, like my husband, who didn't hold the baby alligator. So, I felt brave that I held the baby alligator. Can you remember the first time you rode a horse?
Oh yeah.
Were you nervous a little bit getting on the big horse?
The first time?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first time we experience something, it's okay to be a little anxious or nervous, but then we have to dig deep inside and go, it's going to be okay. Because you took lessons, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so you were preparing for that. And that's kind of what we're doing here at Unity every week, is we're taking lessons and we're studying, and then we're applying that in our daily life. So as you go forward this summer and into next year, you might encounter a moment where you might feel a little anxious. But I want to encourage you to remember that thank you. You and I have the ability to choose to see the good and the opportunity in that experience that we're experiencing. So as you go forth, when we find ourselves in those uncomfortable or anxious moments, make the choice to look for the good, look for the opportunity, find the beauty in that situation. All right, thank you very much, Ella. We're going to sing a song for you.
We love you. We bless you. We truly, truly appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you.
Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, Ella. This year, we are exploring and practicing ways in which we can embrace our unlimited good. And during the month of June, we look at the concept of beauty. Myrtle Fillmore wrote in How to Let God Help You, beauty and appreciation are inborn, and so are all the qualities that make for the transformation in the outer world. So join us this month as we open our awareness to experience and express the beauty that is innate within all creation. And please join me in saying this month's affirmation together. I open my awareness and embrace beauty within and without. Thanks. So we have a couple of announcements. First of all, next Sunday, June 12th, is going to be a Voyage celebration meal for the Bell family. A bon voyage. Oh, well, that wasn't in the script, Ginger. Anyway, so we're going to be honoring Janine and Ella as they take off to Chicago. Now, Mr. Bell's going to be around here for a while, so thank you, and we appreciate you. But next Sunday, we're going to have delicious food and cake, an emphasis on cake, as well as a few surprises. Plan to stay after and help us bless and bid fare thee well to Janine and Ella. And there's a suggested love offering of $5 to $10 per person, but no one will be turned away. So there's a little event there. All right. Prayer support. This month, we'll begin offering prayer support after the service. And join one of our prayer partners in the ministry office across the foyer. And today, Ginger will be available. And if any prayer request or celebration to be, you can share that with Ginger today. Also, Healing Sound Meditations with Janice Jaffe will be on hiatus through the month of June, and hopefully we'll pick that up in July. Also, Reverend Karen Williams will be our guest speaker on June 26th. So if you're available, you'll want to come hear her insight and wisdom as she's speaking. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience on earth. And with this experience comes all the challenges of being human together. And we recognize there are places in our world where there's the appearance of conflict and people are displaced and dying. And in the midst of all this, we believe there is no person situation, or force greater than the power of God, our source of peace, strength, and wisdom and courage. Let us be silent in the one presence as we affirm divine order and the experience and expression of peace in every corner of our planet. We'll take a moment of silence now. And so it is. Now let's read from the Daily Word. And the Daily Word is produced and printed by Unity. And you can learn more about the Daily Word by visiting dailyword.com. And the word for today is truth. And today our affirmation is the light of truth shines in my heart. Like a kaleidoscope's shifting patterns of dazzling colors, my life is always changing. Some of the changes I may like, and others I may not. But I accept the changes nonetheless. I enjoy pleasurable moments while learning and growing through the more unpleasant ones. No matter where I find myself along the spectrum of human experience, I take comfort in spiritual truth. God is changeless, my rock and refuge in times of struggle, and the wings that lift me in times of ease and bliss. I remain steady and calm even as I navigate life's inevitable changes, finding lasting comfort in the truth of God as absolute goodness. As I travel along my unique path, the steady light of truth shines from within me. And from 1 John chapter 2, verse 8, yet I am writing you a new commandment that is true in him and in you, because the darkness is passing away and the true light is already shining. Love that. So, we'll join together in speaking this affirmation aloud. Together, the light of truth shines in my heart. And now let's repeat it to yourself silently. The light of truth shines in my heart. Today, our speaker and musical inspiration will be provided by Ginger Curry. Now, we're looking forward to that.
I see beauty all around me. I hear the wind rustling through the trees. I see beauty all around me. I hear the wind rustling through the trees. To see beauty all around me, I open up my eyes, and I see beauty all around me. I see beauty all around me. I hear the songbirds sing in harmony. I see beauty all around me. I hear the songbirds sing in harmony. I open up my
to see beauty all around me. I open up my eyes and I see beauty all around me. I open up my eyes to see beauty all around me. I open up my eyes and I see beauty all around me. Thank you very much. And thank you, Phyllis. So I think Phyllis received maybe a year and a half ago or 2 years ago a lyric sheet with some chords written on top of it. And she added all that prettiness to it. So thank you very much, Phyllis. Good morning, everyone. I am so delighted to be here this morning. And once again, I do have to say I'm so grateful that we as a community are exploring the themes that we are exploring here on a monthly and a yearly basis. And as Dan said earlier, this month, in the month of June, we are exploring beauty. Last month, we explored change. And I bet if you talk to anyone in this community, boy, did we explore a lot of change, whether or not we wanted to or not. And I'm very grateful that we were talking about how to deal with when change happens to us. You know, there's change that we decide to bring about, and then there's change that just happens. And so how are you and I going to respond? And we got lots of practice last month. And so I am positive that we are going to explore a lot of beauty in this coming month. So join me in this exploration. We're going to start off talking about some ideas that help us kind of navigate some of how we incorporate what we talk about on Sunday morning into our daily lives. Most of my material is coming from this book. This is Heart-Centered Metaphysics. This is a textbook, and this is what you can buy it you can buy it on Amazon. But like when I went to Unity Village and took metaphysics, when Lynn went to, I think you went to Florida, didn't you? Why did I go to Missouri and you go to Florida? Something's, I'm not doing things right, I think. I'm doing things in my own way. All right, so, but this is the book that you would use when we start delving into these ideas. It's very easy to read. If you're interested in delving deeper into some of these subjects, I recommend you picking up a copy. But I wanted to start off by kind of giving some definitions. So absolute truth, sometimes I call it the capital A, absolute truth, or maybe the capital T, truth. Absolute truth consists of the sum total of all divine ideas in their original purity and power. absolute truth is changeless. It doesn't change. It's always constant. So when we're talking about absolute truth, we're talking about the realm of divine ideas. And you might say, well, what is a divine idea? Well, the basic and essential divine ideas that we have are faith, strength, wisdom, love, power, imagination, understanding, will, order, zeal, elimination, and life. And I know that if you've been hanging around with us for the past couple years, those ideas will sound very familiar to you, because every month of last year, we studied one of these ideas, because they're what we call our 12 powers, or 12 principles, 12 spiritual truths. So all of these are kind of the basic ideas, spiritual truths. You can add to that beauty, abundance, harmony, wholeness, and then I am sure as we go through this study, some more of these divine ideas might pop up. These ideas are in the realm of the spiritual world. They're changeless. They're constant. So when we talk about absolute truth, I'm not really talking about facts. I'm talking about truth that is universal, unlimited, unconditional, unchanging, and complete. Now, in contrast, or maybe beside absolute truth, is what we call relative truth. Now, I intentionally did a little r and a little t so that we kind of said, okay, this is different than absolute truth. Relative truth is that aspect or dimension that you and I experience in the physical realm. That's where you and I are today, living in these bodies. The relative is constantly changing. So, relative refers to the world of our senses, what I can see, what I can hear, what I can touch, what I can taste. The relative world is the world of appearances. It doesn't have independent existence from the absolute realm. Without the absolute, there's no relative. Something in the relative world cannot be without having its kernel of truth in the absolute realm. So it exists solely through the formative power of thoughts, feelings, and is based on humankind's present understanding of divine ideas. It's based on your and mine present understanding of what universal truths are, our present understanding of God. So that means that 20 years ago, we might have been sitting in here and we might have been having a different conversation, because hopefully you and I have matured spiritually in the past 20 years. I know that we have. I know that I have. What I thought about 20 years ago is not what I think about today. So think about that in the timeline of humanity. So 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, we weren't maybe thinking too much about God yet or spiritual things, because we were trying to keep food in our bellies, and we were trying to run away from the tigers or the alligators or the other wild animals that were out there. We were spending most of our time trying to survive. But we as humanity have somewhat conquered some of those basic needs and necessities and comforts, where that you and I have an abundance of time to think about spiritual ideas now. Now, some of us use those ideas in positive ways and cultivate an experience of peace, cultivate an experience of love and understanding and compassionate towards our fellow man. And some of us use this time to nurture anxiety, worry, and fear. Now, I've spent a lot of time in that anxiety, worry, and fear camp, so I know what I'm talking about. And what you and I have had the opportunity to do is to recognize when we're in that mindset. When I'm feeling nervous, anxious, I know that I am not seeing with the eyes of God. I am not aligned with divine truth. I am totally in my humanness, which is okay. But I don't want to stay there anymore. It doesn't work for me anymore because I know that there's another option. And that's kind of where our power comes from, is the awareness that there's a different way to be. So this is also, you can think of absolute and relative as spiritual beings having a human experience. We are spiritual beings having a human, we are absolute beings having a relative experience. So reading along from, this isn't up there. This is just reading from the same page. It says, the human mind has the unique ability to identify with the absolute and at the same time participate in the changing processes of the relative. The realm of God mind is divine ideas. All things rest on changeless divine ideas. And then we get a nice example about a divine idea. He said, they write, a divine idea behind the flower is beauty, and a divine idea behind music is harmony. Relative truth comes from our human experience of the appearance of these things in the physical world. So it is anything we can say that we observe about the physical world that is subject to change or qualification, or if there's a limitation on that. Although these flowers will appear, although these flowers are very beautiful at this moment, they will eventually fade, wither, and they will die, and that's in the relative truth. However, the divine idea of beauty is changeless and universal. So this is just an example of how the relative, how an absolute idea manifests and expresses in the relative world. Also, you and I have great power in defining these divine ideas when we make them manifest. So I like pink roses. Now, orange roses are not my favorite. So I am going to choose the pink or the reddish rose more often than the orange rose. That doesn't mean that the orange rose is not beauty in expression. It just means that it speaks to me in a different way. And I get to surround myself with those things that appeal to me. I like the divine idea of love. A positive spin is caring about another person. A more negative spin on love is when we express possessiveness over another. That's how the manifestation comes into this world. It started out neutral, but sometimes it gets messed up when we bring it into the world. So, next slide. We say this every Sunday. A lot of the things that we talk about every Sunday is so that we can remember them when crunch time happens. So that when we're in our anxiety or when we're in that moment of fear, we can call upon these phrases that have become ingrained in us. We say there is only one presence and one power in the universe. God, the good, omnipotent. Now, I am still at the stage in my development where I have issues with the word good. Because in my experience, there has always been good and bad. That's like whenever I think of good, I think, well, what's the opposite of good? It's bad. But in this context, we are not using the word good as if it has an opposite. It is the use of good without contrast. One of the things that you and I experience living in this physical world is contrast helps us discern things. Penny, I'm sharing a story on you, Penny, I apologize. Penny has had surgery about 2 months ago, or 6 weeks ago? Okay, almost 2 months ago. And they did some surgery along her throat. So that trauma to her throat has given her the opportunity to nurture and love her throat as it heals. And we were talking about it today, and I said, because I think Penny does not feel yet 100%. Is that an accurate statement?
My voice is not
Her voice, okay, she feels 100%, but her voice, she doesn't think that it's up to 100% yet. And I was like, wow, we can use this opportunity to appreciate how our voice expresses into the world when it is 100%. Because sometimes we might take those things for granted because we don't have that contrast to experience what it's like to be able to use your voice at 100% and what it's like when you might not be able to use your voice at 100%. And then we get the opportunity of contrast. And then what Dan was reading, he was saying, some of the changes, this is from the Daily Word, some of the changes I may like, and others I may not. But I accept the changes nonetheless, because let's be honest, you can't do anything else but accept the change that's happening in your life. So I enjoy pleasurable moments while learning and growing through the more unpleasant ones. And you know what? Whenever we're having an unpleasant experience, that's an opportunity for us to learn and grow. So, God the good, without contrast, omnipotent. This power expresses life, love, wisdom, and even beauty and abundance through me. In it I live and move and have my being. So, this is kind of the idea that we're working with. That there's only one activity working for us. There's only one power and presence in the universe, God. The rest is in the relative world. The rest is always changing. The rest doesn't have that timeless, changeless quality about it. So, words for God, because there are a lot of words for God. God's a loaded word. So we have God, and then we have God, or sometimes I like to say oneness. That speaks more to me. Sometimes people use the word spirit. Others like the word principle. God as principle. God as the I am. We learned that from our Jewish brethren. They don't say the word God. They say I am. Divine mind, that's another one. And then we also have this and more. Because one of my favorite quotes from Charles Fillmore is, "This is what I believe at this moment, and I reserve the right to change my mind. I reserve the right to grow and mature and to have a deeper understanding of divinity and how it works into my life." So this is and more is where you put the words that resonate with you. So when we talk about prayer and meditation, at the beginning of the service, we read through our 5 principles. Some people say there's 1 principles and then there's 4 action steps. Some people say there's 2 principles and 3 action steps. Right now I'm in the 2 principle, 3 action step camp. I like that. God is, I am. Those are the principles, the changeless principles. The other things are actions that we do. We create the experience that we live in, and then we pray. Now, so we've talked about that God is unchanging. So this means that when you and I pray, we are not praying to change God's mind, because God doesn't change its mind. That's not how it works. We're praying to, let's go to the next one. We are praying to align my mind with God mind, with divine mind, with absolute truth. So when I pray, I'm not saying, please God, make this situation go away. Because, well, that's not what we teach here. That's not what we believe. But what we do believe is that there is potential and possibility in every situation, and that when I'm aligned to the mind of God, I am better aware, or I'm better able to see with spiritual eyes. What's that next slide say? When I'm aligned with spirit, I open my awareness to the beauty, abundance, blessings, and possibilities that are always present. When my mind is not aligned with God or spirit, then I might feel like I'm a victim, or that things are happening against me. Those are the thoughts that go into my mind when I'm not in my alignment. When you and I pray, I am praying that that God is in the middle of this situation, that the possibilities are in the middle of the situation. And those possibilities are within myself. If this is a situation where there are other people involved, it's the possibilities within them. And when I pray, I am affirming that God is working. The energy of God is working through all of us to create the best outcome for all of us. And sometimes I might think, well, that might be the best outcome for you, but I don't see how that's the best outcome for me. But that's, again, me thinking with my limited thinking, because maybe I don't see the possibility of what might happen if I open myself to see the beauty in that situation. So this is just a little primer. I used a lot of words today, a lot of definitions, but just I love the fact that we can come here and we can discuss these ideas, and we can know that this is my and your understanding of the nature of God at this moment in time. And that when we really think about it, words are inadequate. Language is inadequate, but what matters is that you and I embody and express our understanding of love, of beauty, of compassion, of all these divine ideas in our daily lives as we interact with each other. So as we go through this week, that is my encouragement for you, that when you find yourself in an icky situation, to quiet your mind and go, okay, I'm not having a great time right now, but what can I do? What can I change how I feel about this, or can I do something physically that will alleviate some of this discomfort? What is mine to do? And how can I transform or transcend this experience? So we're going to take this moment to really allow kind of the ideas to sink in, and to invite the Spirit of God, the energy of God to speak to us in this moment of quiet.
I am sacred.
invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Taking a nice deep breath. In and out. Unwind your arms and your legs and become aware of the support of your chair. Allow your spine to lengthen as you sit a little taller. Opening up that chest cavity, you might place a hand over that heart chakra. And we feel the steady beat of our heart. Breathe in again. And release. There is only one power and one presence, God. This power expresses through you and I. And we also live and we move and we have our being in this energy. All of the other feelings, thoughts that we might have are like the clouds in the sky, just floating by, shifting with the wind. And in this physical experience, we have beautiful cloudless days, and then we have rain showers and storms. But all of these experiences pass, and we come back to oneness, the one power, the one presence, the absolute, which is unchanging. You and I have the opportunity to explore and to experience this physical world. Every moment we have a choice to embrace and to live with excitement and curiosity, to accept the pleasurable changes and to bear the unpleasurable, knowing that all things pass and all that remains is oneness. All that remains is the I am. All that remains is that energy of love. And so we rest for just a moment in the peaceful, refreshing, and renewing energy of God.
I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. We shine, we shine, we shine.
Thank you, Ginger. We now turn to the spiritual practice of generosity. We are grateful for the many ways this center supports us in our spiritual growth, and we in turn are happy to support the center with our financial contributions and our voluntary service. And today, as we participate in the activity of abundance, we welcome not only tangible treasure, but also your blessings. As the offering bag circulates around the room, we welcome you to treasure and your blessing. And simply place your hand over the bag and offer a thought of gratitude before you pass the bag to the next person. We are also grateful to those who have already put in place automatic online giving. Thank you. Your consistency and dedication help create a stable and thriving spiritual community. As our greeters come forward to prepare for the offering, please join me now in speaking aloud our abundance affirmation. Together, I am an abundant being living in an abundant universe. God is the source of my supply. I am not dependent on people or situations for my good. God is the source of my supply. I always have something to give, and I consistently give it. I expect the best, I give my best, and I now attract the best in every experience. Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Step out and take a chance. Walk the talk, join the dance. Relax, enjoy the ride. Let kindness be your guide. Come on and go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. One voice, one hand, one heart. Wanna change, make the start. We're one big family. Love shines through you, love shines through me. Come on and go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. And now we bless our abundance with these words. Together, divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I'd like to invite you to stand and join with me in saying our closing prayer together. We give thanks.
Oh, so whoever's in charge of the script, we're just going to have to talk to her. Let's read the one that's on the screen there.
There we go. As the light of God, we shine. As the love of God, we embrace. As the power of God, we stand in truth. As the presence of God, we radiate love. Where we are, God is, and all is well. In gratitude for our radiant health, please remain in place and join us in singing together, "Let There Be Peace on Earth." Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And don't forget, Ginger will be in the ministry office.
Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Thank you.